I'm going to be sharing with you in this video why not facing my fears was the best thing I ever did in my life. And you're going to be thinking like, what does that even mean? Why would you not face your fear, right? Everybody tells you, face your fear, go into the fear, go into the fear. But oftentimes, I'll tell you that most people that are telling you to face your fears oftentimes are living in fear themselves. I'm going to share with you what I mean by that in this video, why you should stop facing your fear and what to do instead, which is usually the smarter and more wise move in my personal experience. But you do what you want, of course. If you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do actually post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video. It's also going to be in the comments of this video as well. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you in this video is to understand that facing your fear can be confused with believing in fear, right? If you're like facing your fear, think about what that can mean, right? It's interesting. It's an interesting situation here because you got to look at the language of what's happening. When you're facing your fear, how do you really know that you're not living into a fear-based reality where you're scared of something happening, and then so because you're so scared of this thing happening, you live into the fear, right? And you might think like I'm saying this to put fear into you or to make you scared. No, the opposite. I'm telling you the actual truth, which is that most people are telling you to face your fear, but oftentimes the people that are telling you this are in their own fear-based reality, and they're trying to pull you into their fear-based reality as well. So the key, in my experience, is to realize that facing your fear can be widely confused with believing in fear, right? For me personally, not believing in fear, when I decided to stop facing my fears, when I decided to stop living in the fear, when I decided, you know what? I'm going to stop facing my fears. I'll tell you one thing, it's the best decision I ever made for my finances, for my relationships, for my money, for everything, for my health, every single aspect of my life that I look at in terms of how good my life goes. In every single, and I'm talking practical, how practical it is, how good I feel, and how much I'm able to be of service to others, right? Because if I'm scared, if I'm fragmented, if I don't feel confident, if I don't feel connected to who I really am, I can't be of service to society. I can't help society, right? So the key is to realize, well, it's not a key, but it's just what I realized. You can take it as the key for your life if you want, is that believing in fear was the worst. I've made the worst decisions of my life ever. The worst decisions of my life that I've ever made. When I decided, you know what, I'm going to face my fear. Always led to health issues, always led to money problems, always led to all these things in my life that always led down a path that just simply was out of alignment with who I wanted to be. When I was facing my fears, all sorts of problems happened in my life that I don't even want to begin to explain because it's just, it's absolutely horrible. Look at my older videos. I have older videos with health issues and all these things, right? There's times in my life where I had horrible situations. I was manifesting absolutely negative situations, believing that I was a victim, thinking this was happening randomly to me, screaming out, asking for help to the universe, asking for all this help, yet my situation was getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. When I decided, you know what, I'm going to stop facing my fears, I'm going to protect my energy. I'm going to not face my fear. I'm going to protect myself. And I'm going to be of the best service to society as I can possibly be. I'm going to be actually fearless. Being fearless means that you don't believe in the fear. Being fearless doesn't mean being a fool, being a person that is unwise and living into fear and screaming. Like oftentimes the most wise people are not screaming at the rooftops. The most wise people are the quiet ones, not saying anything, and you won't even know that they're fearless because they're so fearless, they're so smart, they're so wise that they're not screaming at the rooftops asking for your attention. They're not shouting. They're like only the people that want all the attention and are like screaming and like those are the people that are in fear. When you're not scared, oftentimes you won't even be screaming and wanting attention. You're going to be that person that's kind of like in the background, like being a little bit secretive, being a little bit mysterious, right? You're not going to be doing all these things that people that are actually really scared doing. You're not going to be one of building this huge ego and getting all this big attention and doing all this crazy stuff, right? You're just going to be kind of mysterious. Now, if the attention comes, then it comes, and you're going to provide service, and you're going to be of value. You're going to be a valuable member to society. But this cannot happen when you live into fear. Okay, that's just been my experience. Now, the second thing that I want to share with you in this video is I just want to make it abundantly clear that for me personally, the best thing I ever did in my life, the best decisions I ever made, the best result that I've ever got is when I ignored my fear. When I face my fear, bad situations happen all the time. My money situation goes downhill. My health goes down. When I ignore my fear, when I see fear, but I simply decide to ignore it and carry on with the life that I want to create anyways, essentially I'm communicating the same thing. When you say face your fear, how do you want to define it, right? I just think that communication can misguide people and make people think that they're facing their fear when in reality they're just being fools. They're just being fools. And I'm not saying to attack anybody. I'm saying this because I used to do the same thing. When I decided to ignore my fear, that is when my life became absolutely amazing. When I decided to ignore my fear, I started to manifest the things that I wanted. I started to feel absolutely amazing because I decided to stop believing in something that is not real. Oftentimes we think something is happening to us. We think that somebody's out to get us, and in a way they are. But it can become this self-fulfilling prophecy where you think you become paranoid. You become paranoid when you build a life around shadow work and facing your fear. It becomes a huge dysfunction in my experience, right? I'll share with you what I mean by that in a second, how to avoid this. But when you are building a paradigm of reality, this used to be me. I used to have this, right? And I'm not saying to not face your fear. I'm just communicating in a different way. I'm just telling you something that might support you in a way. And I'm going to share with you very specifically what I mean and how you can apply this to your life practically if you still don't get it. But I'm telling you, when I had a paradigm of reality built around going into the fear, I was just making foolish, absolutely horrible decisions. So I decided to let go of that paradigm and say, you know what? I'm going to focus on efficiency and ease. And how can I be as fearless as possible? How can I feel as little fear in my body as possible? Why would you want to feel fear in your body? Do you want to feel fear in your body? I don't want to feel fear in my body. I want to be fearless. I want to be as efficient as I can be at everything that I'm doing. I want to be in flow. I want to be as productive as I can be. I want to work really hard, but not work hard. I want to get as much done as I can get done with as little resistance as possible. Why would that be? How could that possibly be a bad thing? How could that possibly in existence? How could that possibly be a thing? Tell me, explain to me. How could that possibly be a bad thing? Think about it. If you want to be the best version of yourself, you want to be as fearless as possible, you want to be as productive as possible, and you want to do it with as little anxiety and resistance and fear as possible, right? You don't want to be feeling fear. Why would you want to feel fear? That makes no sense. So I want to share with you, the third thing that I want to share with you is that when you focus on being the best version of yourself and what you actually want to create, any fear will come up. You don't need to go looking for fear. If you go looking for fear, you're going to find fear. If you go looking for problems, you're going to find problems. You know, if you're dedicating your life around looking for fear to face, you will find incredibly ridiculous situations, and you're going to manifest people that are also doing the same thing, and you're going to be in this random vortex of energy of a fear-based reality. It makes no sense whatsoever. We have a comment down below for resonance. It makes perfect sense when you realize it for yourself. It's like, oh my gosh, why would you face your fear? It makes no sense. It makes no sense, you know? And so I'm going to like, oh, he's scared. I am scared. I don't want to be facing my fear, but I'm not scared in the sense that I'm scared to go into the fear. I'm scared because I understand, it's just a communication thing, because I understand that facing my fear is foolish. And I remember thinking, okay, but are you just going to stay in your comfort zone? I'm not saying to be in comfort necessarily. I'm not saying to be in comfort. I'm not even saying to be going after pain or running away. I'm not even saying to go after pleasure or to run away from pain necessarily. I'm saying that when you decide to be the best version of yourself, when you decide that you want to become a certain individual and you commit to that version of yourself, any resistance or fear or contradictions that are out of alignment with that version, trust me, they will come up. You don't need to go looking for them. They will come up very naturally. They will happen. You don't need to go basing your life around. I just think shadow work is redundant. That's what I think. I think shadow work is redundant. That's my personal opinion. I think shadow work can turn into a trap. I think shadow work can turn into a healing trap. There's a time and place to do shadow work, but at some point it becomes this ridiculous situation where you're not happy. And personally for me, why would I have a belief system that makes me not happy? Tell me, why would I do that? Why would I hold on to any belief that generates a feeling of unhappiness and misery and suffering? Why? And how could that possibly be beneficial to anybody in existence for me to hold on to a belief that generates a feeling of unhappiness and misery and suffering? How could that possibly be beneficial? I record absolutely valuable and really good videos when I'm in flow and I feel my best. If I'm facing my fear, I will record absolutely terrible videos. And the best videos I've ever recorded and continue to record is when I'm not facing my fears, when I'm making sure that I align my energy in a way that helps me to feel the best way possible. How can I feel the best that I can feel so that I can deliver the best content for you, right? And if I'm experiencing limitation coming up that's making me feel resistance and fearful and anxious, I'm going to say to myself, that is a lie. I'm not going to believe in that. I'm not going to believe in the fear. I'm not going to believe in ideas and concepts that make me fearful. Why would I do that? It makes zero sense. And I can't tell you what to do, but I would invite you to think about this for yourself. Just think about it. I don't want to tell you what to do. I don't want to be a guide or guru or a teacher or a mentor or anything. I just want to help people. I don't want to tell you what to do. I can't give you the answers. You got to find the answer for yourself. But just think about what I'm saying. It makes perfect sense. And with that, I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video. It's also going to be in the comments of this video as well. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.